Hi, everybody. Well, I just came back from my CT scan. It's around 10 o'clock at night here. It's pretty dark outside and cold, but there was something weird about this CT scan. So I've seen my doctor after they went and they took out my adrenal gland, and he felt around my stomach and everything looks good. I've recovered well. He likes everything that he's seen. Everything was fine. And now I'm getting my CT scan so they can see if there's any cancer remaining from that and the radiation treatment that I had right after my surgery. So I went in, and normally there's a whole procedure where you go into the waiting room and then a nurse comes out, they bring you into a separate room and they hook up an IV to your arm, get yourself some contrast for the contrast, so you're hooked up, and then they escort you into the scanning room. Well, that didn't happen this time. I was immediately brought into the scanning room. Only one person in there working. Normally there's at least two, sometimes three, but at least two. And she was doing the IV in this room. And let's just say they had a hard time. They had a hard time binding my veins. Now, I know for a fact many people, if you're nervous with needles or quingy about needles or have an adverse pain or anything like that, I used to be that way, but then when I went through all these treatments and everything, basically my body became a pincushion. And at one point, you could see like 50 spots in my arms from everything that they were poking into me for giving me chemo and taking blood and all this other stuff. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera right there, but there's like 4 shots there trying to get in my vein, and they couldn't do it. So they ended up finally coming up here and doing up here. And the whole time she said, I'm sorry, it's so hurt, I'm hurting you. And I was like, whatever, just get it in there so I can get this over with. But it's not normally done while I'm lying on the machine. Normally you're sitting up, right? And it's easy to get at the arm and everything, but they made me lie down on that thing, and it's a very narrow bench that you're lying on the scanner that brings you in and out of this little circle that you go in and out of like a donut. And so my arm is right up against my body, and I can't. They're saying don't move, but meanwhile they're jabbing you like this with a needle going in and out and trying to work it into the vein. And it's not just I missed, pull it out. It's in, and then it's move it around to try. Come on, and the vein is going. She said the needle was here like this, and say this is my vein, and every place that the needle was going, the vein was just going, nope, all around, nope, sorry, nope. So she got a heck of a time. And I'm not blaming the nurse or anything. It just seemed like a very weird situation. That there was only one person in there. And then when she finally got it into this part up here, then the procedure normally is, okay, we're going to do a couple scans when you're going through. You're going to have to breathe, hold your breath. The machine tells you to do it. And then when to release your breath. Okay, that's all. I've done all this before. And then they explain the contrast to you. Now, when we put the contrast, we'll let you know when we're going to put the contrast in, and it's going to make your body feel really warm. Some people feel like they have to go to the washroom. You don't have to. It's just a sensation because of the contrast. I've been through it. I've had this thing like at least 20 times now. And so I'm all aware of it. But the procedure is they run you through the scanner, and then they say, okay, now we're going to do the contrast. So they're preparing you for the contrast and the heat and the sensations. They didn't warn me this time. I'm just sitting there with the scanner, I'm holding my breath, I let my breath out, and I'm waiting for the next scan to go, and all of a sudden I feel really, really warm and really, really hot, and I'm going, huh, they must have put the contrast in. Not only that, I felt leaking from my IV down my arm, because your arm's over your head like this, and I could feel it dripping down here. Now I did feel full heat throughout my body, so I'm not worried that the contrast didn't get in, so they wouldn't be able to see it and all that. But again, it was a weird situation, and I think the weirdness was that they did the IV in the room instead of bringing me into a proper table, putting my arm on the table, putting the IV in, and then bringing me into the room. But she was there all alone. And I don't know if it was scheduled that way or if it was like a cutback thing and they just didn't have enough staff. But yeah, it was interesting, shall I say. Nothing abnormal. Well, yeah, I'm going to say it. It was abnormal. It's normally a very, very smooth clinical operation. I've had it numerous times. It's always gone the same way. And this one went a different way. And I wasn't ready for it. And had I been somebody who didn't like needles or like was terrified of needles or something, this would have been a horrible experience. And then if I was somebody who didn't know about the contrast and everything, I would have been panicking that all of a sudden, why am I all of a sudden feeling so hot? What's going on? Because your body just feels like, whoom, like somebody just turned all your blood and turned on a heater on it, so it's warming it up in your body. That's what the contrast, it disappears in like 15 seconds. But it's a powerful sensation, especially when you're in 9 o'clock at night in a hospital, with just your shirt off and in a cold, sterile room, not the warmest place in the world. You're already a little chilly, and all of a sudden that stuff just bam hits you really, really hot. And yeah, not being warned about it caught me off guard. It might have been just an off night, but I got the bruises here to prove it. And I like I said, normally I can find a vein pretty quickly when I'm getting my blood drawn and stuff like that and putting IVs in it. But I think it's where they took it that made it hard for them to catch it and find it. And yeah, I honestly hope that in the future, that's not the way they do it the next time. Because it really wasn't a whole lot of fun.